Hello. I'm looking at the chart for the full moon, which is on Thursday at 10:33 here in Southeast Australia. And then afterwards I'll just do a little quick tarot reading to see how the tarot are looking at the full moon, or how that will affect us from a tarot perspective, as it were. So I've got the chart here with me on my iPad, and you can see here's here's the Saturn-Pluto South Node conjunction. Don't know whether you can see very well. So there we go. The Saturn and Pluto, and here's the full moon, the sun and the moon opposite each other, and they are in the 10th house and the 4th house, which are angular houses, and therefore much more active than the other houses, like the 7th and the 1st are more active. The angular houses, the houses that are close to the angles, the ascendant and midheaven, and Imam Sili and the descendant. So that's one of the things. So that is quite active. And here's, as I said, the Saturn and Pluto and South Node conjunction. Also, the thing about this full moon is that Venus is exactly conjunct the Sun at 22 degrees of Aquarius. So really, we're still in this sort of situation where relationships are being very powerfully affected. And if you look over here in the 7th house, you can see that that the path of fortune and Pallas are in the 7th house, which is the house of marriages and partnerships and relationships in general. And having the path of fortune and Pallas there shows that there is quite a good, strong feeling that you can do a lot of work by bringing all the different elements together and talking about them and communicating about them. And the path of fortune really gives it an extra aspect, an extra dimension, I think, because the asteroid Pallas rules Gestalt, and Gestalt means bringing all the different little pieces together to make one picture. And so in a relationship, that's quite a good thing to do, to have a look at everything, not just the rotten things or not just the good things, but to bring them all together to weave a sort of tapestry, if you like, of what the relationship is like. The other thing that's happening in this chart, and I'll take it away now because it's quite heavy, is that Jupiter was going retrograde in Sagittarius, as I may have mentioned last time, and it went stationary and direct on Sunday, and whereas Uranus in Taurus went retrograde on Sunday, and it'll be retrograde for a few months. And so both of those planets, Jupiter and Uranus, when they go direct like that and then they go forward or backward, there's going to be an emphasis. There's going to be quite a strong feeling about those planets. And both of them have to do with an expansion of consciousness and a shift in the way people think about things, the way people approach things, and, innovation and the new. Whereas Jupiter is about expanding into new horizons and things like that. So it's a really fantastic combination with the Aquarian full moon and Venus so close by, exactly conjunct the Sun. So it's really lovely. I always love Venus. I think we all do. But Venus in Aquarius is really special because it really gives us an idea of how we can run our relationships in a new world way, without all the old scripts and programming that we grew up with, but in the way forward into the new world where people are more equal to each other, and where we can be more honest with each other. We are only having to be ourselves. That's all we have to do here. And if your relationship allows that, then that is, hang on to it. It's great. So here I am with my tarot cards, and I've got lots of different packs, I have to tell you. This is the one that I feel to do today for the full moon, which is happening on the 15th of August. This is the Osho Zen pack, which some of you may know. I love this tarot pack, particularly for relationships and deeper sort of psychological, psycho-spiritual, therapeutic things. They're very helpful. They're, as all of Osho's things are all so much to do with the soul and our personal evolution and so on. So I'm going to shuffle them, and as I shuffle them, I'm just going to go into the feeling of the full moon, the chart that I read just before, and that's that exact Venus conjunction and Uranus going retrograde and Jupiter now going forward as Mercury is, and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction with the South Node. And, you know, there are various other things. And in a short little video like this, I'm not going to go into great depth with the chart reading. But I'm just really trying to glean just a little sense of this time we're in now and the full moon. And I'm just asking the angel of cards or the central galactic sun or Metatron. I like working with Metatron to show me what cards to pull for this reading. So I like to cut the pack 9 times. So there we go, and then bring it together again, and oops, and the cards just tell me, really, they just tell me. And, you know, I'm totally self-taught with tarot, and I learnt the tarot from just doing my own readings a lot. And they've helped me through so many situations in my life, and I've learnt from them so much, and they have supported me so much. So I'm going to do this reading I really like. So this is the issue. This is what's on the inside. This is what's on the outside. This is what we're standing on, and this is where we're heading. So I don't know whether you can see, let's see a little bit anyway, I'll show you the cards as I go. So the first card, so this is the card of, in many ways, of illusions. The illusion we have that we're separate from others. The illusion we have that we've been shut out. So this bird is looking at his friends who seem to all be free, and he seems to be behind these bars. But if you look really closely at the bars, you can see that they actually are just kind of very ephemeral, and they don't really exist. So in a way, this is our attachment to the stories that we tell ourselves, that we're separate and that we're alone, and or that we're not free to be ourselves, that it's the delusion of the mind, you know, as opposed to the truth of everything, which is, you know, as most people know, there is only one thing, and it's love. And all the other things that we live through on a day-to-day basis are either the absorption and the compliance with love, or the shutting out of love, and all the different versions of that. You'll be able to break it down to, I'm afraid it is that simple, but it doesn't always feel that simple. I know, not at all. So that's kind of the core of the question here about this full moon, is this sense of other. The other is freer. It's like distant fields are always greener, and I'm trapped behind this self-made prison, really. And so that's the central card. And then on the inside, here again, this is exactly the same sort of thing in many ways. This little child thinks that they're locked out of this lovely scenery with the pink sky and the lovely blue and so on. And this child thinks, oh, I can't get in there. But if you look really closely, you can see that actually the lock is not even locked. It's not even locked. So the child only really needs to push the gate and can then join this great, vast, open, blissful phase or state that he's looking at. And again, this is about the illusions that we have about life, that we can't, we're trapped, we're stuck, we're alone, we're not free, you know, and those are all constructs of our programming, which has programmed our minds to think that way, and is the cause of so much suffering on the planet, this feeling that we are separate, or the feeling of the other. So yeah, that's what's going on internally at the moment. And now on the outside, I love this card. It doesn't look like much, you know, and I remember that Rajneesh used to say, no thingness, not nothing, no thing. So this is the ultimate card of faith. That's how I interpret it. And it's not that there's nothing, it's just that there's no thing. So there's not, with all those illusions that we're having about all these things, and all this idea that we're separate from one another and we're alone and we have to, and there's the other who might be the enemy or something like that. We miss out on this tremendous sense of oneness that this card can engender. But this is actually on the outside. So in this particular reading, it could mean that that there is nothing we can actually point to that really proves the fact that we are separate and that we are not free. There is no thing that we can point to that proves that. So this I always think this card is very hopeful, even though it's just a big black space. It's because it's not about a thing, not even a belief system or a philosophy. There is no thing. So it's lovely. I love it. This is the ground we're standing on. Wow, this is a wonderful, wonderful card. And, you know, the creator, we are all the creators of our reality. I know I've had times in my own life where I've thought, how can I possibly believe that when this terrible thing happened to me, that, you know, I was just minding my own business and then this thing happened to me. How could I have created that? But actually, you know, on a sort of broader, big picture level, you know, I do believe that we choose when and who we're born to, and that we unconscious, maybe not a conscious thing, of course, but and that our soul attracts different situations and different qualities into our lives for the very purpose of us getting to understand what life is. And so very often we're shown what life is not. And so in that sense, we are the creators of our journey here on life. And this is as you can see, it's a very fiery card. It looks like an eclipse or the sun. And so there's a lot of passion and a lot of trust and faith, again, in being the creator. A lot of very powerful and strong will as well, to really take responsibility for that role, that we are the creators, that we've created this reality. Consensually, as a group, we have. This is where we're heading towards. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm so glad this is a wonderful card. I love this card so much. It's so beautiful. Letting go, letting go. And you know, with the Aquarian full moon, Aquarians, out of all the fixed signs, this is my opinion, okay, because I know quite a few Aquarians and I love Aquarians. But out of all the fixed signs, they are really the most stubborn, because they're so covert with their stubbornness. You know, they intellectualize it in a way, whereas Scorpio and Taurus are much more instinctively stubborn, and it's usually to do with self-preservation. Whereas Aquarians' stubbornness is to do with some concept they have or some intellectual idea they have about something. So this card of letting go under the Aquarian full moon, which is so strongly influenced by Venus, the planet of love and beauty and relationship and creativity and so on, is really beautiful. In this picture, you can see a little drop of dewdrop has fallen on the leaf here. And with the warmth of the sun, it'll just gradually sort of drop from one leaf to another, and then it'll go into this very large expanse of ocean and become one with the ocean. And so if we can let go of our stubborn little ideas we have about how things should be, or what things should be like, or I know best, or all those kind of notions that we all get, you don't have to be an Aquarian to get those ideas, then we really can experience a sense of oneness, a sense of bliss. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. And the fact that right now, the biggest threat we have as not only our species, but of nearly all life on Earth, is climate change. And for us to really embrace this fact that is coming towards us, and to really accept that this is happening, means letting go of a lot of ideas that we've had about ourselves and about where we want to be in our lives. This is such a beautiful card, and I'm so glad that this reading is ending with this card. So thank you very, very much for watching. And if you want to contact me, you can contact me through YouTube or through Instagram. My website is, I'll put a link in the thing below. It's transformationalastrologyandtarot.com. I know it is a mouthful. And thank you so much for watching. And if you like this, please like it. And I'd love your comments if you have any. And I'm still learning about having a YouTube channel. And so if any feedback is very welcome. Thank you very, very much. And I really have a beautiful full moon experience. Let go, and just know that we are all so loved. We are all actually love. Many blessings, much love.